John 18:36. Apokryphe Iesus. He basileia he eme, uk esten ek tu cosmu tutu. Ek tu cosmu tutu ein he basileia he eme, hoi huperetai hoi emoi, egonidzonta on hena me paradatho tois judaios. Nunde he basileia he eme, uk esten in tuthen. Here Jesus is answering Pilate. It's a bit of a long verse, isn't it? We read, Jesus answered, my kingdom. Notice how we have the pronomial use of the adjective there rather than the genitive personal pronoun mu. We don't have mu. Instead, we have the adjective. The lexical form of the adjective is emas, probably emphatic. My kingdom, Jesus says, my kingdom is not from this world. And then we have a second-class conditional sentence where we have an a in the first part, and usually we have an on in the second part. You can see there's a debate here about the manuscripts as whether on was originally present at this place here. There's some other manuscripts that have it here, but the second-class conditional sentence does not always have to have an on, so it might not have been there, might have been unconsciously added by later scribes because this is an obvious contrary to fact sentence. If this had happened, this would have happened, right? So we'll render it that way in English. Jesus says, if my kingdom were of this world, if my kingdom were from this world, my servants, or perhaps my attendants, or my servants, my attendants. We've seen this word. Here's the lexical form here, huperetes. You can see it follows the pattern of mathetes, hupakrites. It's a masculine noun of the first declension. And we've seen this word used for like the temple officials, or like the temple police. But it's a term that's used for attendants of a royal official or king. So Jesus is speaking of his kingdom. So my attendants, my royal servants, maybe that's an overtranslation, not sure, would have struggled so that I would not be handed over to the Jews, right? And of course, as soon as we hit the hana, we know the subjunctive's coming. There's a theta, bam, it's an aorist passive subjunctive. That's a first person singular. So that I would not be handed over to the Jews. But now, and you see English translations based on the context render it, but as it is, or something like that, my kingdom, or perhaps, but in fact, my kingdom is not from here.